outrun it, I have survived. It's more than just breathing and staying alive. All that I feel is a fire inside. I have outrun it. It's a new dawn, it's a new day. Some things are different, but nothing has changed. Still got my number, still got my name. Tell everybody I'm back in the game. This is my time, faster than ever, hungry and I'm going to come back and take what is mine, bigger and better. It's a new dawn, it's a new day. Some things are different, but nothing has changed. Still got my number, still got my name. Tell everybody I'm back in the game. Saddle, cut to the chase. I ain't somebody who stays in one place. Ready to go, I'm coming to play. You better know I still got something to say. It's a new dawn, it's a new day. Some things are different, but nothing has changed. Still got my number, still got my name. Tell everybody I'm back in the game. couldn't handle. No one else could ever hold a candle. Get ready for a battle, cause you know
After a nice summer break, the drivers of SIM500 Cup Series are back roaring at Atlanta. Hot summer nights. Monday night, we're ready to go for iRacing on LSRTV. It is the NC811 Call Before You Dig Cup Series. And after a 2-week break, we are back on the newly reconfigured, repaved iRacing virtual Atlanta Motor Speedway. This should be fun. Think of Daytona, Talladega, a little smaller scale. We will have it for you here this evening. Welcome, I am Wesley Outland, back here with you alongside Louisiana's John Muschin Jr. John, first off, hope you had a good summer break, a good 4th of July, and now we're ready to go back to it again. And what better, exciting, wilder track than Atlanta Motor Speedway, the repave.
I'll tell you what, Wesley, I've been spending a lot of time on this track this week, and it's a blast to run. If anybody out there that's watching this was entertained by the real-life series, the Xfinity Series and the Next Gen Cup Series, then you're going to love what you're going to see tonight with these guys in the Next Gen Cup Series here at the NC811 Call Before You Dig Next Gen Cup Series for SIM500. Because, Wesley, this track drives just like it does in real life. And I would say if I had to compare anything to plate track racing combined with maybe Michigan, it's fun. It's a blast.
I think of restrictor plate racing, you're going to think of super speedway style content here tonight with these drivers go 200 miles, 130 laps. By the way, Charles Wooten is running the boards. It's just below the flag stand. We saw cars getting sideways. And honestly, John, since we have come into production meeting preparing for this race during this practice session that is just now 3 minutes remaining, we have seen a lot of calamity in the last 25 minutes watching things in practice.
Yes, we have. Great point. And another point I'd like to bring up on top of that, Wesley, is the fact that these cars are just as fragile in iRacing as they are in real life. It does not take a whole lot to break a suspension piece in these cars in real life, and same goes in here. So when we get to this race, and if we see something like that happen on track, I promise you, it's going to take some cars out of the picture. It's going to thin this 39-car crowd out that we've already got. And, you know, you and I have talked a lot about Daniel Falkenham over the last few weeks. Well, you know, he's always been so dominant. Well, I'm telling you right now, this track has thrown quite a wrench in his program. He's been struggling getting his hands around this track, so we'll keep an eye on him tonight.
That was literally going to be the next question I had for you. Does anybody got anything to stop Daniel Falkenham? Well, the wild card, Atlanta Motor Speedway, might be able to do that, John.
Yes, sir. Absolutely. And I mean, I'm not knocking Daniel in any way, shape, or form. It's just that this configuration of this track, you know, we used to lament all the time, you, me, everybody that's watched iRacing, how the cookie cutter racetracks were just so similar. I mean, you got a guy that's dominant on Charlotte, he's going to dominate Atlanta, he's going to dominate Texas, etc. This new configuration of Atlanta is, to me, the most unique track we're going to find on the service now. And not everybody's been getting their minds around how to drive this track, Wesley.
Oh, and by the way, they just dropped this in iRacing, 2 weeks ago?
Yes, sir.
Two weeks ago, right before 4th of July, I think was when they launched this. And I mean, so this is a lot of unknowns. You could literally see the way it's repaved. It's totally redone. Nothing like the Atlanta of the past. By the way, they're going to go 1.54 miles. That's the distance around the Atlanta Motor Speedway. 130 laps, 200 miles here tonight for the SIM500 NC81 call before you dig NC811 call before you dig Cup Series. And weather conditions, that's something we need to talk about as well, because this will be in the daytime. Holy cow, John Muschin. 78 degrees Fahrenheit. That's your track temp. 132 degrees. Are you kidding me? Wow.
You would think, well, see, in the old days, Wesley, that would have made for a really slick track. And I'm sure that it's going to be a little slicker tonight than it would have been, say, last week when the track tip was only 106. But that being said, this car, with its contact patch and the way this thing drives on this track, it's going to be amazing to watch. I mean, it's not as slippery as it would have been, except for down the inside line. And you know, we were talking pre-show. You see this at the plate tracks all the time. That inside line, you see it checking up all the time, and you'll watch them fade to the back as the high line goes around them. Well, the same thing happens here now. It's amazing to watch.
Yeah, this is going to be really exciting. You see the checkered flag coming up over the flag stand, and we are getting ready for qualifying now to see what driver can put down the best lap around the Atlanta Motor Speedway. I say this, John, is it you against everyone else, or is it you against the track? Because this track is such a big question mark here.
It's both. It really is, because keep in mind, we've got 39 drivers on track tonight. A lot of these guys raced last night for the first time on this track since it came out. And last night was a learning experience for most of them, me included. I mean, I've been doing open races all week long too, but you know, when you race with a certain set of guys that drive a certain way, everybody drives different. So it's a learning experience. And last night, a lot of these guys had trouble getting around this track without getting into the wall, without, slowing themselves down or getting to each other. So tonight's going to be more of the same, I'm sure. We're going to see guys just hopefully taking it easy the first few laps, getting the feel for each other. But I'll tell you what, Wesley, I would not be surprised if we saw maybe 15 to 25, 30 lead changes throughout the night.
Here's a new name on our roster that we've never really followed before. Sean Derryman, the 09 Chevrolet Camaro, coming at you at a turn number 3 and 4, working his way through the double dog leg to the start finish. And right now we will see what time he'll turn. He'll set the bar 32.255. Right now that's good enough for second, as there's other qualifiers on the race course, including Stoney Benfield. Scott Simley just climbed the top of the board with a 31.76. We're watching all these drivers, of course, one by one, put that best lap down there. And, of course, John, this will be the first type of story, if you will. Get it through qualifying, and then we'll see what you do in the crowd.
Yeah, and I mean, even qualifying the lap around, the way you get around the track fast has changed now. I mean, this track is just, everything about the way we used to drive Atlanta is gone. It's just a whole new beast now. That's not a bad lap right there that Perriman put down.
Mike Montesi, Kohler Contractors number 6 machine, Kohler Generators Ford. As Mike Montesi works his way, he's got that RFK throwback to Brad Keselowski. And that Ford down hugging the bottom of the racetrack. And that's one thing I noticed as we watch Montesi work his way off of turn number 4. Currently 18th, way below the line there. Obviously, in the real series of Xfinity and Cup, you'll get black flagged if you go below the red line. You can go below the double white line here at Atlanta in the virtual world there.
Only for qualifying.
Not in the race. Okay.
Yeah, they put that out last night and today that if you advance your position below the red line, you're going to get black flag just like you would in the plate track. Man, look at the speed we're seeing at the top of the charts. Dalton, 31.55.
How about that? Justin Mons on course now. Tyler Dalton, 31.55. 31.59, Kevin DeBrown. And we await, of course, the driver that has just dominated the series this year, Daniel Falkenham. I believe he's on course now qualifying. Here comes Mons. McConey set up shop entry, 49. Is he there? 32.202. That's about 25th. He's got to pick it up there.
Well, that's his first lap. We're going to see a huge difference between first lap and second lap. Now, something I've been watching is these guys that are cutting the quad oval corners there, like you touched on, going down below that red and white line. That hurt your speed in the Xfinity car. You would actually lose about 2-3 tenths on time doing that because of that transition from the flat to the turn of the track. And I've noticed that the guys here in the Cups, like Mons just now, 31.6, he kept it up above that line. I would love to see what Tyler Dalton's line was.
From 25th to 8th, and here comes Falkingham now. Number 39.
Your points leader.
The January 30 Chevrolet Camaro. Here he comes, obviously down below the bottom of the line. You can do that in qualifying, not in the race. And he will climb.
One and done.
Not posted yet. Wow. Man, he might be struggling with Atlanta. Holy cow there, John.
I'm wondering if he brushed the wall on one of his laps. And because if you do that, if you get a contact of any kind that brings up the little green message in sim, they discount your lap. The time will not count.
Doug Roth crossing in the STP colors. He might be the final car to take time. He is in 24th.
He's not even going to finish.
Don't think he'll even be able to complete that next lap. Yeah, and that'll do it for qualifying. Wow. It looks like unofficially, man, how about that for Brian Macklin there? Number 30, Brian Macklin. I don't think we've mentioned him on a poll since, what, Daytona?
No, I guess not. Yeah, it's been a while.
Daytona, actually, Josh Barker was on the poll at Daytona. Brian Macklin won Daytona. There you go. And now you get this quick warm-up. What are you looking for really quickly whenever you're coming out to warm-up right now, John?
It's 1 minute. These guys are going to come out hot. They're going to speed down pit road, get up on the track as soon as they can. And some of them will try to get a hot entry into pit road to feel what that's going to be like under green flag circumstances. And I'm not real sure what happened with Falkingham. He didn't touch the wall or anything that I saw on the replay. He just didn't get his time scored for some reason. That's weird.
Well, as you see, some drivers taking advantage of that last 1 minute clock, but it's all gone. And now, well, hey, buddy, you're going the wrong way. Well, that's Falkingham. Oh, my. He couldn't even get out of the pits.
Stop.
Oh, my goodness. And just like that, this little warm-up session is over. And you know what, John? They're not going to run no last chance race. We're grinning. We're going 200 miles, 130 laps here at Atlanta.
Yes, we are.
Here's your starting lineup. Tyler Dalton is on the pole. Remember, there is an invert in the series. Tyler Dalton in the 19. Kevin DeBrown in the outside of the 93. Row number 2. Eric Arnold in the 31. To the outside, Bobby Wetzel in the 9. Row number 3, Atlanta. Anthony Calantoni in the 84. Trey Edson in the 7. Row 4, we'll find Scott Stencil in the 42. Justin Mons in the 49. Your top 10, Mike Montesi and Glenn Campbell, 6 and 44. Row 5.
Inside row 6, Dave Comstock in the 13. His outside, Elliot Henderson in the 37 car. Inside row 7, Robert Frio the 3rd in the 77. Sean Dairyman, the new guy, makes it in there in the 09 car. Inside row 8, Scott Simley in the 12 car. His outside, Jeff Ryan in the NCA 11 number 3. Inside row 9, Brian V. Macklin in the 30 car. His outside, Joey Jattina in that 14 car. That's a good-looking car tonight, too. And then finally, row 10 here, Mike Kelly in the 2 car. And to his outside, Wesley, you got Gerald Lewis in the 96.
Row 11, we'll find Jose Medina, the 24, and Burrell in 21. Row 12 tonight here in Atlanta, Stoney Benfield in 75, Doug Roth in the STP 43. Row 13, Ron Holyfield in the 1, Jose Gonzalez, 26. Row 14, Daniel Falkingham, 27 starter. Chad Coleman, the 38. He'll start 28th. In the top 30 is Richard Beasley in the 10. Bentley Glazier, Bristol Dirt winner in the 18.
Inside row 16, Tommy Ryan, the 99. Josh Parker in 81. None of these guys took the time, by the way. And inside row 17, Charles Woods in the 40. Outside of him, Jimmy Coleman in the 54. Inside row 18, Randy Yoakum in the 8. Inside row 19, outside of 127. Inside row 19 will be Doug Sibbett in the 04. To his outside, Brian Wortman in the 74 car. And bringing up shotgun on the field, Dwight Beverly in that 01, making his return to the Cup Series tonight.
And that one driver you forgot to mention, the 127, Kevin England, one of our former colleagues also in the booth, and he's in the race tonight. That is the 39-car field ready to go. So, me and John predict a lot of cautions, a lot of calamity.
No.
Trying to figure this car out. What are you thinking?
I'm thinking maybe 5 to 6 cautions, but I'm predicting a lot of lead changes tonight.
We're ready. A lot of lead changes. We're ready to go. Atlanta, we're back to it again. And ladies and gentlemen, you have a virtual race, and they send it into turn number 1 with Dalton. He pulls to the bottom, and they're 2 by 2 behind them.
Edson might be looking at a black flag there. He crossed the line and before he crossed the line, he changed lanes, and that's a no-no here. And we got somebody dropping down the inside now.
That's Calatoni. Something amiss on the 84. Calatoni falling all the way back from the penthouse to the outhouse on lap number 1. Holy cow.
Now, that might be planned because Calatoni was one of the guys that ran last night in the Xfinity Series and didn't have a whole lot of good luck. So he might be just trying to get out of that big pack up front and just stay in the race until the end. Right now, up front, Dalton in the lead. Eric Arnold, Voodoo Racing's newest teammate in that 31 car, up there in second, kind of ride that outside line. Now, we talked about that top of the show, Wes. That outside line was showing a lot of strength in practice.
The outside, I believe, is going to be the top of the racetrack where everybody needs to run to get that good groove or speed. And you're seeing everyone fight for the top. If you're on the bottom, you want to get up to the top side immediately. And you see Bobby Wetzel fighting for that position alongside Mons. Arnold up on the top side along with Dalton, the pole car. They work off turn 2 to the back straightaway. No jumping out of line yet here in the early going in Atlanta.
Now, I don't know what's going on back in the pack here, but Falkingham is only up to 23rd right now, and he looks like he might be losing the draft. And that is a thing here at Atlanta, is losing that draft. If you lose the front of the draft in front of you, you're falling back, and you're going to be way off pace. These guys are doing almost a full second faster in the draft than anybody that's out there by themselves. So that's probably something else to keep in mind, is watching these guys. They've already lost the draft. They'll be lap cars before long here.
If you can run the top side of the racetrack and stay up in the top, that's where you probably need to be. As you see him hugging the outside, safe for wall barrier. Dalton up top side along there with Arnold, and there's the battle for third. Wetzel and Mons now in this mix. That goes on. DeBrown on the outside looking in with Campbell also as they work into turn number 1.
You got Edson back here also in the 7 car back there in 8th place. You got a lot of new names up front.
And he did get penalized. We haven't seen the black flag yet.
No, black flag didn't come out, so he got away with one right there. And, I mean, you got a lot of guys up front right now that we don't normally talk about being up front every week. You know, Stenzel usually rides around the back normally and takes it easy. But you got Campbell up there, the Rhinestone driver, the Rhinestone Racing Cowboy. A lot of good-looking cars up front. A lot of guys looking real strong on that outside. That inside line just not getting it done. Wetzel and DeBrown have lost a lot of room here, a lot of positions here. Now Wetzel's going to jump up high.
Yeah, notice that everybody stay up on the top of the racetrack now as they work off of 2. It's still going to be Dalton, the man up in front. Arnold in second, Mons third. Campbell, Henderson, that's the green and purple car, black car to the bottom. Wetzel has now found his way up on the top side of the racetrack, and he has hugged up with Kelly. All this going on as they work through the double dog leg and start finish back to turn number 1. It's like a pack, if you will, like we mentioned, a draft. You're up on the outside lane, you're good. Henderson wants to do something on the bottom, but I think he's hung out to dry.
He's just not gonna make up a lot of ground down there. We noticed that during the official races this week, both A Cup and the B car. We noticed the last night in the Xfinity race here at the SIM500, guys, it's just that inside line, a couple of things are happening. The car is very loose down there for some strange reason. It can be really loose on entry and middle right there on the inside line, and as the run goes on, it gets worse. Used to be this car would tighten up a lot after a long run, Wesley. Not so much anymore. The loose condition just worsens as the run goes on.
And I hate to say this in the early going as we're just 7 laps in, but you'll find out who your friends are, John, for sure.
Oh, yeah,
This is like
real
a
fast.
draft like Daytona or Talladega, super speedway style, and you'll see if your teammates are going to hang with you or somebody that is considered your foe will then become your friend or vice versa as it gets down to the end of this race. But for right now, I think everybody's just nip, tuck, tail, one behind the other, behind each other's rear ends. Just stay in line. No one break out of line and knock off laps.
That's right. Now we've got pretty much I'm calling it maybe a 20, 21 car front pack. And then, you know, all the way back to 21st is almost a straightaway right now. They've really lost ground, those guys that lost the draft. So, and we're looking great. I mean, right now these guys are being really respectful. They're not being too overly aggressive right now. And those guys down the inside, Wesley, we've talked about it ad nauseum so far. They're learning quickly. The inside's just not where you want to be right now.
Yeah, not where you want to be as the field works their way down the back straightaway to turn number 3. You see the outside lane. That is the preferred line as they're getting ready to come to the line, and they're going to put lap number 10 on the board. This is a 1.54-mile racetrack, reconfigured, Atlanta Motor Speedway, repaved, just like yesterday's Quaker State 400 for the Cup Series, won by Georgia's Chase Elliott, might I add. And
yes,
of course,
sir.
look at him going 3 wide in the middle. Wetzel, he's going to have Henderson to go with him. The Brown, he's boxed in. He's got nowhere to go as those cars are coming after him going to 3.
The Brown, just looking in his mirror, watching these guys go 3 wide. This will work for a little while, but after a while, that inside car is going to start getting really, really loose. And what happens is if you, right there, you saw it on exit, that middle car just has no side force at all. Gets extremely loose on exit. So you'll see him right here. Like we're talking about, I'm going to go back to 2 wide because that 3 wide, your car just loses all kind of control.
Lap number 11, working lap 12, completed this time by. If they come off the back straightaway, it is Tyler Dalton, the man leading since the drop of the green. Arnold, Voodoo Racing. How about the 31? Looking good so far. Mons in 3rd.
Yeah, Eric swapped over to Chevy when he joined our team, and he's liking that Chevy. It looks like a little bit better. He's up there, been in second since the drop of the green flag when we saw the 84 car duck down, get out of the way. And right now they got Wetzel in the mirror, got 44 back there, Glenn Campbell. And we see down low, we see Mike Kelly in that 2 car trying to get something going. He's got DeBrown on his 6th there, but Wesley, this is just not working for him. It's really not.
No, it's not. As you see that pack just under attack, they work their way back off the corner, and Henderson trying to go to the outside lane. And here's the thing, honestly, you might have a car, John, that works on the bottom of the racetrack, and you're trying to get up to the top side. When you get up to the top of the racetrack, you might struggle. And I think we're seeing that happen with drivers like Wetzel, Campbell, and Henderson. They look good on the bottom, but they're having issues on handling on the top side as they go to 3.
Now, what I've seen some during the week here is a guy on the inside, if he can get that side draft working just right and get right up on that left rear corner as they come off the corner, they can drag the car to their outside back a little bit. And if they can get a big enough gap, they'll be able to take that spot as they pass them going down in the inside into the next turn. But it's a very tricky maneuver to accomplish. But as we say that, look at this inside line now. They're almost all the way up to Dalton here.
Certainly are working the back straightaway. As this inside line trying to get something started, led by Kelly. The PPG Products entry down to the bottom of the inside of the racetrack. One car got loose there for a second. That was Derryman's car, the 09 in the back of that pack. Right there, the top right, the white and blue car. And he now gathers it back in as he has Comstock, Montesi Ryan to his inside. And all the while, they work off a 2, a 3, a 4. Car battle for the lead out of 2, heating up.
Mons jumps down the inside to take advantage of that draft that the Brown's getting right there. In the meantime, Kelly saw his spot open up, and he jumped back up to the outside. That's going to cause a lot of issues with these guys down on the bottom. That's going to break their momentum. And as we are talking about catching lap cars now, here we go. There's your first lap car these guys have to deal with.
That's the number, let's see what goes on down to the bottom of the racetrack. Is that Livingston, I believe it is? No, that's Gonzalez, Jose Gonzalez, yeah, 26 car, 3 wide. Mons in the middle. Outside is going to be Dalton. 3 wide, lap car to the bottom is a pick. They send it off into turn number 3. And look at the new leader, Justin Mons. Lap car Gonzalez helps him go to the lead, but not for long as they're reeling him back in out of turn 4.
And he immediately jumps up to that high side right in front of Dalton. In the meantime, Kelly, he forced his way into the middle in between Eric Arnold out there in the 31 and Henderson down low and makes it work. He gains that spot. But look at this fight with Stenzel now up there bump drafting. And look, I'll tell you what, I'm laughing at this. I'm laughing because his lap car, he's like, I am going to stay with this drag to try and stay on the lead lap. So now you've got the lap car that's a lap down of the 26 car right there in front of everybody, just trying to stay on that lead lap. Good for Gonzalez.
And all the while, this is happening down into the corner. Hold it together as Brown has now moved to the lead. Kevin DeBrown now the leader. So we've had now 2 lead changes amongst 3 drivers. At one time, Brown has led, Mons has led, and the race started with Dalton leading.
Arnold in the wall.
And we got a car on the wall.
He just brushed it a little bit, but that brakes momentum so bad, you can see him fall back and lose. He lost the tail end of Tyler Dalton right there.
Is that Dalton? Oh, wow, okay.
No, that was Eric Arnold. Yeah, Eric Arnold brushed the wall just a little bit. But look at how scattered they've gotten here, Wesley. Yeah. I mean, it's amazing that all of a sudden, like a switch was flipped.
At one time, they were all bunched up in a pack with one another, and now they've kind of started to separate and put some distance between them. And mind you, this time by, when they come to the line, they are 20 laps into this race. 110 remaining here in this 200-mile contest for the next round of the NCAA 1-1 call before you dig Cup Series Monday night with the SIM500 on iRacing on LSRTV. Oh my goodness, he got turned.
Oh,
Spinning,
wow.
Mons got turned, Stitzel got collected, Comstock involved. There's your first caution to the back straightaway. Lap 20.
Man.
It was right on our camera, speed shot to the backstretch, and all of a sudden Mons had nowhere to go, and a tough break for the 49 there, John.
Tough break. A lot of good cars got caught up in that. The guys way back in the pack that were, way back there, they were able to get woed down fast enough. But man, Mons went for a ride and took some guys with him. Let's get the replay up.
Caution out. Caution out for the first time here tonight. 20 laps in at Hot Atlanta. Atlanta, the new reconfigured track. And here's what happened. Watch this. The black 49 McConey setup shop car. That's Justin Mons behind Trey Edson. Starting to make a move. I wonder if Stitzel just got into him there, John.
I was watching it in the server. It looks like he gets a little bit loose right here, I think, in one. And on exit, he gets, it might have been, yeah, right? He's right here. Yeah, he gets a little bit loose right here.
No, Stitzel turned him.
He did, but I'm saying he got, if you watch it, he got loose and had to check up to save the car, and Stitzel didn't have anywhere to go. So, yeah, he's going to hit him.
Oh, wow. And if you look at a different camera angle, there was a whole bunch of other cars involved. By the way, we got pit stops going on. John, 22 laps in, you think this is abnormal or right on schedule?
I'd say it's on schedule. We knew they weren't going to be able to make it all the way on fuel. They're only going to get about 57 laps on fuel, 58 laps on fuel, so they're going to have to make at least 2 stops. This might set them up for pushing it to one more stop if it goes green all the way.
Under caution, first time here at Atlanta. Resets them. We'll come back. We're back in a moment. There is your top 5 as they all reset. David Comstock is now the new man out in front. Trey Edson, Mike Kelly, Kevin DeBrown, and Chad Coleman. After an incident on the back straightaway, we'll rack them, restack them when we return. We're back with more in a moment. This is iRacing on LSRTV. Hey, it's broadcast personality Wesley Outland, and for the second year in a row, the Community Radio Network is excited to also be the voice of iRacing on LSRTV every Monday and Thursday night with the Northwest Racing Series for Cup and Truck. Join yours truly, Justin Prince and Samuel Dyer, every week as they race towards a championship. We're also on the radio in the Triangle in the Raleigh-Durham, North Carolina area at 87.5 WCRN and anywhere worldwide at wearecrn.com. Click play. Check out the coverage, the power of radio to the imagination of the listener, esports style. We are the Community Radio Network, the voice of iRacing on LSRTV. Check it out when you can, and replays are always up too.
it's broadcast personality Wesley Outlet up topside at one of the great racetracks of the world, the Caraway Speedway. And I'd like to remind you to join us every Wednesday afternoon at 1 p.m. Eastern to 3 p.m. Eastern with coverage of Finish Line, where we talk to everybody from NASCAR to grassroots, like right here at Caraway Speedway. Carolina's Fox Sports Radio affiliates, iHeartRadio, and on the Community Radio Network at 87.5 FM. And remember, thanks to Live Sim Racing Productions, you can actually see the guest panel, ask their questions, get interactive with us with comments and so much more in our chat box. Finish Line every Wednesday. Join us every week.
And we welcome you back to Atlanta SIM500 Esports Racing League. All right, so we just had, would you say the big wreck, John? Would that be the big wreck, or do you think there's just still more storms brewing?
It was a big one. Let's leave it at that. And it got a bunch of cars. It did, and you're going to see that in pack racing, Wesley. We talked about this before. But
we're back underway.
Are we?
We are. We're back to green. They didn't waste no time. We came back from commercial break. They threw the green flag. Ha!
Wow. Well, look, Comstock, fuel only. I just want to throw that out there. He was the only one that went in the pits and took fuel only, no tires.
Edson, Brown, Arnold, Montesi, Comstock, as John just mentioned, top 5. They work their way back into 1 and 2, and right back at it again goes Montesi on the outside lane. Henderson will follow. Comstock on the bottom as well as Kelly. All this going on. Boy, they got to get organized, John. They better do it quick, or we might see another wreck happen.
Well, I'm looking at these guys, Edson, Brown, Arnold. Also, they've changed strategy a little bit. They're riding that inside line now.
Yes, it is. Watching them working their way back around the racetrack. They're kind of hugging that bottom middle lane, if you will. Nobody's running up on the top side, as we saw earlier. Henderson finally trying to get something organized up on the outside lane as they work into 3. As Kelly and Comstock. That is Montesi on the bottom. All the while, they work into turn 4. 25 laps in, 26 now. Completed when they come to the line. And I'll tell you what, John, Edson's car, the 7 now, up in front. He makes the 4th different leader of this race so far.
Yeah, it's a little slower than I thought it would be, to be honest with you. I really thought we'd see a lot of lead changes, but again, these guys are also just trying to learn the track right now. You see these 3 guys up front. Edson's the only one that stayed at the bottom that last long run we had, that 20-lap run. DeBrown and Arnold rode that high line and did great for the first 15 laps, but somewhere in there, something happened to the track conditions maybe, whether, I don't know, but the inside line gathered it up and was able to make passes and really kind of just, boggled everybody up right there. They wound up all spread out. That's when that wreck happened. So now we're seeing a little bit different mindset for these guys at the start of this run with fresh tires and fuel. They're going to try riding that line and see how it works out for them. So I'm interested to watch how this progresses for them.
Yeah, I don't know if you saw Henderson, that 37 car, our camera crew dead on it just a moment ago. He went up on the outside, back on the bottom, pulled up in front of Montesi, came back to the inside, and now he has got himself right behind Arnold's car, the 31 for Voodoo Racing, in the number 4 position as they go single file. You got a pack of about, 15, 16 cars right there, one behind the other. That conga line goes to the inside, not the outside of the racetrack. They're on the bottom of the racetrack as they work off turn 4.
Yeah, it's really an interesting dynamic to watch here as we watch. Like I said, we watched that first 15, 20 laps of the race, and the outside line was so strong, but now they've all switched down to the inside, and you're right, we've got a 15-car breakaway with Burrell bringing up shotgun on this line right here. And then further back, you got Benfield and company. There's about 5 or 6 cars there. I mean, it's really interesting. It's almost like a super speedway race, Talladega, Daytona, where you get all these different pack races going on.
And all of this going on as they work their way back to start finish. Third, Roth there. Roth inside, making a move on Coleman's car. Behind them, of course, Beasley in that mix. This is going on for 18th through 21st. Holyfield also in that battle. Here comes Parker in 81. All this going on as they're zigging and zagging for the lead in the top 20. That battle we just saw, Falkenham's car kind of poke out to the bottom in that number 16 position now there, John.
Yes, sir. He took 15th away from Benfield, it was. And in the meantime, up here up the front, we've got a fight, I guess, for the lead, maybe. Looks like Eric Arnold in the 31 car, that Voodoo Graphics 31 Chevy ZL1, made him move to the outside thinking he was going to get some help, but it looks like he got hung out to dry. So he's going to start falling backwards until he does meet up with, who is that? Dairyman in the 09 up there. He might be able to hang on just for a few laps here if he can get some help. He won't go too far back.
That's Dairyman in the 09 machine on the inside pole car. Dalton in the 19. Dairyman now. Really don't know much about this driver. He's kind of a new welcoming, if you will, to SIM500. I've never followed him on the Cup Series this year.
The name sounds familiar.
Definitely talented. He's got himself in a good spot right now in the top 10, though, John, in 6th.
Yeah, he's having a great show right now as we're still watching the 31 car, trying to figure out where he wants to go. I think I know what he's trying to do here. He's trying to draft up to the back side of the 37 here, and then maybe try to jump to the outside. See how they're checking up? He's got to check up real hard right here.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, his speed drops so drastically right there on entry of that turn.
And you know what gets me as well, John? We had about a 25-lap run under green before the caution came out. And then they were all running the top side of the racetrack. Everybody was up on the outside. We wanted to be up on the outside. Everyone on the bottom was fighting to get to the top. Now, on the restart, we're seeing everyone stay to the bottom of the racetrack like they're just staying on the inside. Is it because of adjustments? Is it because of the handling? Is it the track conditions, the day, the night, the cover? So, I mean, the cloud cover is what I meant to say, because obviously this is a daytime race. All of these things could be causing this, John. What do you think?
I honestly, like what I was saying, I don't know. We know it's not adjustments. This is a fixed setup race. Really, the only thing you can do is change tires. You can't change any pressures or make any adjustments at all in this thing. So I don't think it's adjustments. I don't know. I'm thinking maybe temperature change. Let's check the temperature real quick. The temperature on track is 137 degrees, so that's not
So
it.
it's picked up 5 degrees since the race started. It was 132 at the drop of the green. And as we watched Arnold there, just, wow, look at him. Oh, my. Zigging, zagging, all up under the back end of Elliott Henderson's car. And if I remember correctly, John, you can make passes around the track, but they're not officially scored until you get to start-finish line, correct? Even though they're scoring loops around the racetrack, it's not officially considered you as a new lap leader until you cross start-finish.
Yeah, that's the way iRacing's always scored, unfortunately. Look at this fight we got going on with these guys up front. It's like, you know, we were talking about this in practice with my drivers, Eric and Stoney. I found passing, to me, easiest when you drafted them all the way down the stretch. And as they dip down to the inside, you just kind of keep your car, let it drift up to the middle to high a little bit, you know, try and keep your minimum stacked up as much as you could. I found that to be the easiest way to pass, but it looks like with these high track temps, that's just not working for these guys. As now we got to fight for the lead. The Brown got himself to the inside of the 7 car, who slams the door. Wow.
Wow. He just said access denied to 3093. The Brown has led earlier in the race. Dover winner. Working now inside, outside. Here he comes with Henderson on the bottom. So is also Arnold. This works into the corner into turn number 2. Back straightaway. And still they stay to the bottom of the racetrack. 90 laps to go, mind you. This time by when they come to the start-finish line.
I'm going to be honest with you, Wesley. I am not surprised that Edson's out here leading this thing. We've seen Trey Edson really run great at plate track races. Think about it. Talladega, Daytona. He has a knack for getting to the front and staying up front. And this track, let's admit it, I mean, it drives like a super speedway.
That's right.
And here he is up here leading. Now, let's touch base on our points leader, Daniel Falkingham, the guy who's been so dominant this season, still struggling back there mid-pack. He's right now at 17th. I think he started, what, 24th?
Yeah, he did. Yes, he did.
Yep. Yeah, he isn't being able to make a whole lot of ground up. And it's, you know, it's probably, let's face it, he's probably not the most popular guy in the series. So finding somebody to help him draft is probably difficult for him.
And this is the drivers of Wetzel, Falkingham, Parker, Holman, Hollyfield, all these cars along with Beasley that we just mentioned a moment ago. in this pack, that is like the second group, if you will, of cars that are in a tandem behind the leaders. And that's honestly, John, the best way to describe what's happened. We've literally separated cars in packs. They're pack racing, and you've got 2 or 3 different sections around the racetrack right now.
Yeah, just like I said a few minutes ago, this is exactly what you would see on a super speedway. Daytona and Talladega, if they go green long enough, and then like especially with green flag pit stops, you'll see a pack of 10, 15 here. You'll see another pack of 5 or 10 back there, another pack of 10 or 15 back there, and you're just a big, separate packs. And I mean, I like it. It's been pretty exciting so far. I just would really like to see these guys get a bunch back up again. Man.
And look at that right there. What was 4 cars, John, is now 8. As Kelly has closed in and joined the rivalry behind these cars. And look who might sneak in there as well as Ryan in the 9 spot. A 9-car.
Oh, car on the wall. The new guy, Dairyman.
Off the outside wall. 13th place car. 09 Dairyman. I think he saves it. He's on the bottom of the apron.
But I guarantee you his right front is broken. If we can get a shot on that right front. Yeah, look at the wall we got going on there. Yeah, he's got some serious suspension damage there. So he's going to have to get in the pits and get that fixed if he can. Man, that was a tough break. That was a hard hit,
No fast repairs on this series, by the way, John. You know that. He's going to have to go on the damage clock and try to get it fixed.
Knock the nose all off of that thing. Look at that. That was a hard hit.
What a hard hit there for the 09 of Dairyman. Welcome to the world of SIM500. All the while, here comes Kelly. Up on the outside lane, he has hung out to dry. Montesi inside, pole car Dalton there. So is Macklin. Here comes Ryan. They all start sliding away and changing up spots. 45 in at Atlanta.
So I'm watching the replay, and it's something I touched on top of the show. But let's see, lap 45. These guys have been on track now 20 laps on these tires. Dairyman just got loose all by himself on exit of 2 and slapped that wall really hard. And we're going to start seeing these guys do that as they exit low. The lower you are, the more this car wants to snap loose, I've noticed. So that's something to keep our eyes on. Some of these guys that aren't quite as experienced with this vehicle are going to find themselves in a bind, I think, as we go further in this run and these tires start to get worn off a little bit.
Blazer's car, first time we mentioned him tonight, up in the top 20 now, trying to get up there for position. All this going on. Great action everywhere. It's kind of hard to pick where our camera guy is going to go to get all of this action going on, because it's all over the place.
And this front pack is really starting to mix up the running lines here, Wesley. We're seeing some guys starting to creep back up to the outside. Henderson, that 37 car, he's got the 6 of Montesi behind him. Mike Kelly up there in the 2 car. They're waiting for maybe 1 car. Here comes Jeff Ryan. Maybe if Jeff Ryan jumps in on here and they can get nose to tail, they'll make up some ground on that outside.
And look at how methodical Trey Edson is, peeling through this traffic and holding them off. And the old cliche is you can't block them all. Okay, you can't block the middle, the top, or the outside lane if they're all coming at you. But I can tell you this right now, Mons has got his sights set on the 93 of DeBrown. And wherever DeBrown goes, he is going to throw it. He's going to follow him. He's going to mirror him. And all the while, that dirty air, John, is allowing all these other cars like Arnold and Henderson and Dalton to play checkup, but they're also having to get on the binders to avoid him as all this goes on as they break apart, tangible into 1 and 2.
And that right there was a direct result of, I believe, Edson wiggled a little bit there, forcing the 93 car of DeBrown to jump up high. But look, he's got a lot of company up there. Now you've basically got 5 or 6 cars high. You got 4 cars down low. The low cars are having a checkup because they're getting loose again. This is where the excitement starts for me, man.
And finally, for the second time tonight, we've got DeBrown back to the lead again, and they are trying to get something organized up on the top shelf. Henderson falling back to 3rd or 4th as Arnold alongside of him. Somebody's got to run with him. Here comes Montesi. Here comes Kelly. Here comes Ryan. He's got help on the outside. But here's the deal, John. That bottom has been so strong. He's got to work hard to get something started on the top again.
He does, and he's got to have consistent help, just like we see Daytona and Talladega. You can run the outside all you want, but if you don't have consistent help, somebody who's going to commit to that top line with you, you're not going anywhere. And I think that's the issue we're seeing with Henderson up there. He just can't find anybody to commit to that run with him.
And Henderson's car may be not strong enough, John, to be able to hang up with the leaders on his own. He's got to get in a pack. And here comes now Kelly, and Ryan helps on the way, dear, as he works his way out of turn number 4 in this tandem pack to the inside. Brown now leading. Brown, Edson, look at Arnold right there, 1, 2, and 3. What a good drop-off for the debut of Voodoo the last couple of weeks there, John.
Yeah, I tell you what, I'm really proud of Eric Arnold coming in as he did to a new program. I'm not anybody, man. I'm just a new guy trying to get a team together. He and Sonny Benfield jumped on board, and he's had a great run, top 5s in pretty much everything he's touched so far. Looking forward to some really big things here with Eric Arnold.
Yeah, Arnold doing really, really strong. Benfield is kind of back in the top 25 right now. Still a lot of this racing left to go. We're on lap number 53 of 130 laps here at Atlanta. Round 16 of the NC811 Call Before You Dig Cup Series. John Mustin Jr., I'm Wesley Outland. Charles Wooten is pushing the buttons in Texas, and this is a humdinger here at Atlanta. We've had one caution flag, but my goodness, John, this race has not disappointed the opening 50-plus laps here tonight.
No, it has not. And real quick, I want to touch base on something. We were talking about pit stops after that last caution.
Yes, sir.
Buckingham, Josh Parker, Chad Coleman, and it looks like Dave Comstock. We can add them to the list of guys who went fuel only, but they are stuck back there. Right now, Buckingham has made his way up to 12th, but they are, I think, 5 seconds behind this lead pack.
So do you think the tires, because they don't have a really good tire program right now, that's going to hurt them and put them all the way in the back? Because, oh, my goodness, look at that.
I don't think it helped them. I really don't think it helped them. But then again, you only have, I think, 3 sets of tires for this entire 130-lap race.
That's right.
You know, I think they made the right call. I'm going to be honest with you. I think they made the right call. If we have a late race caution, they're going to have that one extra set of tires. It's going to help them. Depending on how, long the run is at the end at that caution time. Like if they've been on track for 40 laps, the caution comes out, we got 15, 20 laps to go, they're going to be in the catbird seat with those fresh tires.
Kevin DeBrown is the leader. 55 laps in now. It's Trey Edson second. Eric Arnold third. Matt Henderson, let's see here where he's at right now. Elliott Henderson is moved up to third now. And again, still trying, John, to get something started on the outside, but he just can't seem to just get it organized, if you will. I mean, it's kind of confusing because the race started, everybody was on the outside lane. Now everyone wants to stay on the bottom. They're catfishing on the inside.
But in his defense, I'm sure he's realized by now after that last pit stop that riding on the outside conserves your tires a little bit more than riding on the inside. I noticed that early on in the racing last week and this week that, and you're not on that inside line, your right sides wear off a lot quicker than they would up on the high side. So he's doing himself a favor right there, even though he's not getting the lead like he wants. Everybody wants to lead the race, true. But he's doing himself a favor because if this thing continues to go green, we still have another 25 laps racing before they have to pit for fuel. His tires will have less fall off, therefore he will be less prone to slipping and sliding coming to pit road. You know what I'm saying?
And
wow, look at that speed he's got right there passing up Arnold on the inside.
Oh, yeah. Oh, wow. And all the while, John, as I mentioned, Bud, we're closing in on about 6 laps away to halfway as well. Pretty good first half of the race. First,
and
one
by
caution
the way,
flag. Yes, sir.
That pack, Falkingham, Coleman, those guys, 6 seconds back about 10 laps ago, they're 2 seconds back now. They're coming.
Yeah, if you stay in that pan of that camera angle right there, with this pack of cars, you'll start to see the other cavalry reeling them in down the back straightaway. Because here comes Campbell, Coleman, Falkingham. There they are. You see them. Bam. Falkingham, Parker, Coleman, all in that pack. Here, kitty, 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 kitty.
They're coming, dude. I'm telling you, this new Atlanta it's literally just a 1.5 mile super speedway now. I mean, it really is. You know, we see that all the time at Talladega and Daytona. If that second pack gets in line, and work with each other. They'll chase everybody down, and that's what they're doing. In the meantime, up front, Henderson making a challenge for the lead here on the outside.
Finally makes the outside lane work for him. Here comes Elliott Henderson. He'll pull the throttle down to the back straightaway. Threads the needle down into turn number 3. He's got Kelly as a wingman. He's got Macklin to help to boot. Up the outside lane. They go after Brown. They go after Edson on the inside. Oh, and all the while, as this goes on, they battle side by side, John, for the lead. Here comes Falkingham. Coleman, Comstock. They can reel him in quicker and quicker into 1 and 2.
Chevy, Ford, Toyota upside on the top of this track, trying to make waves down there. You got Ford, Chevy, Ford on the bottom side. And like you said, here comes Falkingham. He's caught Jimmy Coleman in that 54 car. What's he going to do with him now? Parker, Falkingham, Coleman, Comstock. These guys have made some headway. Meantime, up front, DeBrown successfully fins off the 37 of Henderson. Keep the lead for now. But, boy, they're about to have their hands full with some really fast guys back here.
What one time was about 12 cars in a pack is now 16 to 18 cars now in that front pack, working their way to the back straightaway. Couple of laps to halfway. Here we go again. There you see Wetzel falling back. Beasley and Holyfield. There's those drivers I was mentioning, but they're still within the crosshairs of these leaders as all the while. Brown, 2 cars at bay. Arnold can't go inside. He can't go outside. Boxed in 2 by 2 as they cross the line.
Henderson made a great amount of gain right there in the turns. Really looked fast. Look at that. He's so much faster through the middle and exit of these turns. It's amazing what that high line can do for you once you get some guys to commit to it. Man, and look at this. Falkingham now up on the outside. Here he comes, Wesley.
Watching him. Wow, hold on there, Josh Parker. Boy, he was sideways there. Campbell behind Falkingham and Coleman. All of this goes on. That's the line, closing in on halfway. Brown, Henderson, Edson, Kelly, Arnold. Sounds like a law firm. They'll send it back into turn number 2. That's the top 5. But there is such a big organization of traffic coming behind them. What was it one time, John? 12 cars. It's now 18, and there's contact.
Wrecking.
Edson's wrecking. Macklin's wrecking. Arnold's wrecking. Trouble.
Oh, no.
Ryan in the fence. You knew it was bound to happen. Coleman involved. Big trouble on lap number 64 just as they were coming to the cross flags in Atlanta.
Unreal. Here's a replay.
John, you knew. You just knew. It was, and you know what? You look at this. This is kind of what happened to Corey LaJoie and Elliott and Kurt Busch in the race yesterday in the finish. Look at this. I mean, nowhere to go.
That was exactly what happened. Edson came up, and Macklin was already there, unfortunately, which sent Edson back down to the inside line. He collected Arnold, and it was just on from there. Man.
Other cars onto the pit lane, led by Henderson to Brown.
Oh,
Kelly.
Arnold.
Somebody hit him coming into the pits.
Well, it didn't help that his right front suspension is destroyed, and that car is so uncontrollable. When you get on the binders, the brakes just are so lopsided. Look at the damage to that car. This new damage model is vicious, man. It really is.
Yeah, because the thing you got to worry about now with this new damage model, John, is, oh, well, Montesi overshot his pit stall, so did Stencil. Arnold having trouble. He's cattywampus in his pit box. And Elliott Henderson is going to come out first after entering first on the pit lane. But back to the damage model, John, that you were talking about. You can get in a wreck. You can hit the wall. Let's say you hit the wall in turn 1. If you continue to drive and your car is falling apart, you start seeing parts flying, tires will fall off, sparks, all of that stuff. These are some of the new things that they've worked on iRacing to make the damage model look real on these next-gen cars.
Now, a lot of guys complain about it, Wesley, but I honestly think they did a fantastic job with it. It's more realistic. We've seen it in the real-life races. This car is fragile. I mean, it's absolutely fragile.
Yes, it is.
You know, yesterday we saw, who was it, the 48 car, Bowman, got 2 flat tires and couldn't move his car because it was on the ground at that point. The whole underneath suspension was just grounded, so he had to get the tow truck to push him to his pits.
That's exactly right.
It's insane, man. It really is. But I tell you what, I enjoy it. I do, and I know that I'm probably one of the rare few, but I love what iRacing's done with the realism of this sim.
So we are 66 of 167 of 130 laps, just after halfway. 2 cautions. John, kind of a, I mean, I don't want to say it's not been entertaining because it has been, but a quiet night so far. 2 cautions, that's it.
Why would you say that? Why would you say that?
You know, it's been a quiet night.
Leslie. Well, after that caution,
get the fireworks and popcorn ready now. I jinxed it.
Yes, you did. Let's see. Macklin and Edson have both retired their cars after that caution. So that's 37 cars still on track, though. At right past halfway is not bad.
And that's heartbreak for the number 7 of Trey Edson. He was one of those cars that was up in the front a lot of part of the first half of this race. And we reset things now. Lights off on the pace car. Kevin DeBrown, the leader. Elliot Henderson, the leader. Kevin DeBrown in second. Mike Kelly, Tyler Dalton, pole car, top 4. Followed by Richard Beasley, Jimmy Coleman, Ron Holyfield, Bobby Wetzel, Jose Gonzalez, who had problems earlier. He's back up there, along with Mike Montesi in your top 10. Second half of the race, ready to go here in Atlanta. Settled in. We hope you're enjoying iRacing on LSRTV. Don't forget tonight, Northwest Cup at Chicagoland. Later on, we're back to the line in the Geico restart zone. Green flag flies. DeBrown, oh my goodness, outside lane. John, can we try to get something started up on the top shelf where Grandma hides the cookies from Grandpa into one?
I don't know about that, but I am wondering what happened to Henderson on that restart. He was sleeping.
He didn't fire
at all.
But he comes back and battles on the inside. Wow. That was Stencil and Montesi. They about wrecked each other in that pack.
Yeah, cautions breed cautions. We've seen it many times, especially at tracks like this, especially at tracks like super speedways. So hold your breath, folks. We ain't over yet. We got the first lap down from this caution, and they're still driving 2-3 wide back there through the quad oval. Up front, you got DeBrown on the inside. You've got Trey Dalton. What's Dalton's first name?
Tyler Dalton.
Tyler Dalton. I'm sorry.
Whoa!
It's Ferrari back there, out of shape. Now you got Beasley down the inside, cutting the needle right here. Look at this. What a move.
Look at the tide. Look at the tide ride. Coming out smelling like a red rose to the lead. Tide clean to the point in the number 10.
Tony, please tell me you have a replay of that pass. That was freaking amazing.
My. Number 10, Beasley going to the lead. It might have been probably the pass of the year for the SIM500 series because he.
But it's not over.
Wild.
Look on the outside, Dalton by himself. Holy smokes!
And this is what we were trying to see if Elliot Henderson could do on his own, and he couldn't do it. He couldn't hang with him on the outside. He had to have help.
Speaking of Henderson, he's gone from leading this race all the way back to 8th place.
Yes, he has. On that restart, something happened. He spun the tires or just didn't fire. And you know, John, he might have one of those cars where it's got to take a couple of laps for his car to come to speed to get back up to running with the pack. You know, some cars on their tires, when they take the green, they can fire and fire quickly and get up quickly to the front, and then they fall back. Some guys, they got to kind of wait a couple of laps on their handling, on their setup to get back up to the front. That might be something the 37 might be doing. He's right there in hindsight of the top 10. Meanwhile, they're single file. Here we go, slip sliding on the bottom of the racetrack again with Beasley the leader. DeBrown in second, Dalton third. Kelly now holds off Wetzel. That goes on, John, into turn 3.
What a race we've got going on right now, man. It's just slicing and dicing. It's every man for himself out here right now. I mean, I see teammates up here just not being teammates, really. And look at Holyfield back here in 7th. Wow, good run going for him in that set, number 1 Chevy. It's a Smith & Wesson sponsorship, by the way. I painted that car.
Look at that hornet's nest behind Elliot Henderson. Did you see that? Look at them. 2, almost 3 wide in some parts of the speedway. That's Burrow, there's Sigmund, there's Glazier, Comstock, Roth, Woods, all of that going on. There's Montesi's car. He's in 9th. Trying to close into Holyfield Gonzalez. Look at him coming across the line there, John. 74 laps on the board, working lap 75 in Atlanta.
I'll tell you what, it's been a very exciting race for us tonight, Wesley, here at the new Atlanta. Look at this pack we got going on back here. I tell you what, Falkingham, I'm not sure. I'm going to have to do some double checking. Give me about 5 minutes. I'll get the information, but it looks like he took gas only again. It looks to, if I'm reading this right, he's running on the same tires that he started this race with. I'm going to look into it for you.
Keeping an eye on that on the information of the 39, Daniel Falkingham, the points leader. He is 14th right now. There is Glazier, the Mountain Dew machine. He was the Bristol Dirt winner for the series. Currently now up to 12th amongst this pack of Montesi, Sigmund Woods all around him. This goes on as they work their way back out of turn 4. Glazier to the inside, making that run down. There is Falkingham behind them. Comstock as well. All this going on in turn number 1. Off the wall. Boy, hold on there, Sigmund. Sigmund got way, way high up on the top side of the racetrack. And excuse me, coming through, Glazier down to the inside, making a move, looking to come after Roth, looking to come after also Burrell and Montesi. All of this is going on.
I'll tell you what, this has been some of the best racing in Atlanta I've seen in a while. But hey, you know, I got to bring something up real quick. As much fun as we're having with this, we got something coming pretty soon that I'm kind of excited about. The LSRTV guys have gotten together. We're bringing back the No Excuses Sim Series. Founded in 2016. That was, what, my math is horrible, 6 years ago. A short break. It's coming back. It's going to be featuring short track racing, oval tracks, road racing, several mini series, and big events throughout the year. Make sure you guys check it out. It's going to be on our page. It's going to be on the website soon. We're going to have all kinds of info for you. Me and Wesley will update you as the weeks go by and we get more information about this, but I'm excited about it. It's the No Excuses Sim Series, and folks, it's going to be a blast. But I guarantee you, as good as it is, as good as it was, it's going to have a hard time compared to what we're seeing tonight here in Atlanta for the SIM500 guys, Wesley.
Yeah, the No Excuses Sim Series, something that was around probably about, I would say 3 years ago. I think it was 2 or 3 years ago, and then it kind of 2016 was the last time it was around. So it's been quite a while. So, and the plan is to go back and try to do some crown jewel events on pavement and dirt. And there's a whole bunch of other things that are in the works. So No Excuses Sim Series. If you're not a part of the program, you got no excuses not to. Okay? Yeah, there you go. Good segue into that. Hey, what? The Tide Rod is leading, John.
I'm saying, I was about to say, Beasley made a hell of a move. I wish we could have gotten the replay on what he did there. He went from the inside, past the car on the outside, got back down to the inside, past the lead, has not given it up yet. It's fantastic. I mean, some of the action we're seeing. Quick update for you. Sean Derryman, after that last caution we had, has retired his vehicle from the race. Eric Arnold had 10 minutes of damage to fix. He may or may not get back out on track. Still looking at his pit crew to see what they're going to do with it. That race, that wreck took out some good cars. It did not, however, take out Falkingham. I got the information for you on that. He did not, he did take tires. What he did was he pitted twice. He came in, got all his damage fixed first, and then went back around and took 4 tires of fuel. So he's got fresh rubber out there and a somewhat repaired race car, and he's running 14th right now.
So let's be honest here. As we work down lap number 81, they're in turn number 3 and 4. Coming back to start finish with Beasley the leader. There is Falkingham, the points leader. He's now coming after Calantoni. Remember Calantoni, he had problems at the start of the race. He was up in the front and fell all the way to the back. Might have been scheduled to do that, as John said. He is now strategically, methodically moved his way in the top 15. He's up to 13th. We've had 2 cautions in this race so far. First caution on lap number 25 on the back straightaway, and then going to turn number 3 at halfway on lap 65. That has been the only times we've had cautions. And John, when that happened, they were multi-car accidents.
Yes, they were, just like you would see at a plate track. I mean, Wesley, we've seen plate track races go 1, maybe 2 cautions, but right, they were big cautions. They were 10, 15 car issue cautions. So we saw a couple of them tonight, one with 10 cars, one I think with 11 cars the second time around. did take out some fast cars. Eric Arnold was the top 3 most of this race. He's sitting on pit road getting repairs. Dairyman was looking great at the start of this race. He's out now, so
they don't call them the big ones for nothing.
Nobody's immune. That's what I was trying to say. I was going to get that out there eventually. Nobody's immune in this type of racing, but except for maybe Beasley right now, because he's out front leading this race and looking really strong doing it.
And as they always say, it's not a matter of if, it's when. And I promise you, we move to the crosstails of this event, the crosshairs of the finish of this race. We're on lap number 85, this time by completed as they roar to the stripe. Beasley still the leader. And here's the thing, John. Beasley, not only did he take the lead, he has just hung on to the lead. Richard Beasley has not let anybody get around him.
No, he hasn't. I mean, he's been looking really, really strong. Ooh, who's blinking out right there? Did you see who that was?
Wow, was that Dalton?
I think it was Tyler Dalton.
Was that Dalton Lincoln? He can blink and nod. Watch out. Holding it together. Now, look at this. Gonzalez. John, where did Gonzalez come from? Macho Taco Party on Tuesday for Fiesta. If he does well, man, oh, man, he's up in the top 5. He's in 4th.
But remember, when that first caution came out, he was a lap down. He was leading the leaders when the caution came out. So he did what he had to do and stayed on the lead lap, and now he finds himself up here in 4th place, battling with the top 4 guys, man. I mean, it's fantastic. I love this track. I cannot say that enough. I love what they've done with Atlanta. Absolutely love it.
I have to say, there have been times that I've literally tried my best to find something exciting to talk about or stay awake here in Atlanta for the previous track. But, man, this race right here has kept you on the edge of your seat. Kelly up on the outside. In the middle, Gonzalez. Wow!
Denied.
I was going to say that. Access denied. Clear a path, people.
I'm telling you, I mean, and what kills me is I stay out of the forums, and I'm telling you why now. It's just so toxic in there. I've seen nothing but complaining about this new Atlanta track in the forums. I'm like, you guys just, I love it.
It's their own, right?
I'm saying, man, I love what they've done. I love what this racing has produced. Look at how exciting we've had this. Now, granted, we haven't seen the lap changes the lead changes that I thought we would, but we have seen excitement from back to front and front to back on this track since this race went green.
Beasley is the leader. We're closing in on lap number 89 this time by Beasley, DeBrown, Kelly, Gonzalez, Dalton. Top 5. Wetzel back up there along with Coleman, Holyfield, Glazier, Roth in the top 10. Remember Doug Roth having problems in qualifying, John. He's now put the STP 43 up to the top 10.
Hey, let's give Doug Roth some props real quick.
Yes,
Doug
sir.
has been looking strong in all of the series that SIM500 has been running. He's been really looking strong lately, really being competitive, really being up front, and being a part of the discussion about leading these races. So my hat's off to Doug. Really made a turnaround somewhere midpoint of this season. And like you said, right now running up there in 8th. Look at Ron Holyfield in that one car. Ron's still fairly new with these SIM500 guys as well. I think he's been with them, I think this is his 3rd or 4th race maybe. I'm not sure. Looking real strong. He's got him a great top 10. Bentley Glazier, former winner here in the new color for that Mountain Dew car. He's looking great. So we've got a lot of great stories up front. To me, though, right now, the greatest one is that Tide ride. I still cannot, I cannot, that's going to be my highlight reel for the week, is that pass, that move he made to take the lead.
That pass is amazing. That will be the pass of the year, in my opinion, for sure, the way he did it. And right now, he is holding everyone off inside, outside. Brown is right up under him, so is Kelly. I mean, they're literally bump drafting him going down into the turn, and Beasley is not wavered. He's not favored. He is not in any way concerned. He is still holding on to that top spot.
And I'll guarantee you he's driving more in his mirror right now than he is out the windshield.
Oh, hands down.
My goodness. And Falkingham, let's just touch on our points leader. Let's cover the points real quick. Let's go ahead and get our top 5 out there and see where they're all running at. Right now, your point standings, Falkingham, he is leading. But
he's
unfortunately,
13th.
He's 13th right now.
On the racetrack.
Still in it. He had some damage, but he's still in it. Byron Daly didn't show up tonight. He's 2nd. Chad Coleman. Chad was involved in that last caution, I think.
Yeah, Chad Coleman right now is in the 38 car all the way in 22nd.
So still in the lead lap, though, so good for him, even though he was involved in that wreck. Got his damage fixed enough to stay on the lead lap. Kevin DeBrown comes in 4th in points.
He's in second.
He's in second place right now. You've got Jose Gonzalez, 5th in points.
Gonzalez is 4th.
Bentley Glazer, 6th.
He's in 9th on the racetrack right now, the Bristol Dirt winner.
That's right. Tommy Ryan's top 20 right now. He is 7th in the points, riding 20th. Trey Edson, wow, he did take a hit tonight in the points.
That's
He's 8th right now, but he has retired from the race. Dave Comstock's 9th, and 10th is Josh Parker, and Parker is not having a good night either.
Yeah, Parker's in the 18th position all the while. Watch this battle now heating up here as here comes Glazer and Holyfield. They have closed in and made it now a 10-car pack for the lead. Are you kidding me? In Atlanta as we go into triple digits. They roar into turn number 3. Beasley, he is on the bottom of the racetrack, but they are trying to organize something on the top side again, led by, believe it or not, Macho Taco Jose Gonzalez. He's got Wetzel. He's got Glazer walking with him. And here comes Falkingham. He'll go to the top side as they go into turn number 1.
They're going to have more help up high if they're going to make that top line work. Just like in a super speedway, strength in numbers, baby. Strength in numbers. And they're going to need some help up there to get up there and be competitive. The good news is, like I said earlier, they're wearing their tires down less. Their car will take a little more time to get to that loose side, if you will. In the meantime, look at Holyfield down here, right on the back bumper of the 54 car. Jimmy Coleman right there. Wow, look at that mix up 3 wide of the quad oval here. What happened there?
Oh, my goodness, up high. Gonzalez, I thought he was going to try to go to the bottom and make a run on Kelly. Brown threw the block on Kelly. Everybody had to bonsai behind them and play checkup. And they all got through. And now Falkingham has went from the top side to the bottom of the racetrack. He's trying to sneak in the top 10.
He's trying to work his way past that 40 car of Charles Woods. Now he's down on the inside of the 18 car, Bentley Glazer. He's right there. Oh, a little wiggle right there going through the quad oval.
My goodness, are you kidding me? Down to the inside. Beasley still holding on to the lead. There is a hornet's nest. Correction, there is a killer hornet's nest behind him. A log jam of traffic. One wrong move, somebody slips and you've got calamity. All the while they hold it together methodically, inside, outside, going to turn number 3. Beasley on the bottom. Brown follows. Kelly is there. Dalton and Gonzalez battle side by side behind Roth and Wetzel out of 4.
I'll tell you what, man, I'm watching Kelly in that 2 car. He and Dalton have been trying to time a jump up top like Roth just did right there to take advantage of the momentum that Gonzalez is building on that outside line. Tyler Dalton and Mike Kelly both have been trying to do that for 2 laps. Ross said, heck with it, I'm going up top. And look at that. Kelly thought about it again, but changed his mind. And they're starting to get some strength up there on the top line there, Wesley.
John, I might be one to throw the gauntlet down and say, in my opinion, so far for SIM500, this is the race of the year so far for these drivers. What a show they're putting on. Working now. 100 laps to go. Next time by, triple digits are on the scoreboard, and it is time to settle in for the home stretch. 30 remaining when they come to the line. Beasley, Brown, Kelly. Look at Kelly now, and Roth up on the outside, battling with help from Gonzalez on the top side.
I'll tell you what, this and Holyfield, he's going to jump up to that top high line. Well, I thought he was. He went back down low there. If they could just get more cars up top, I'm telling you, these guys would catch the leader in a hurry. Meantime, look at this fight with Beasley. They got a lap car, the 77 car of Frieri coming up. That could be a pick here coming up.
Caution.
Here. Oh, caution on track.
Yellow flag comes out on lap 100. We are not certain why. Caution flies. We'll find it here in a minute. Gotta think there's something in the back of the pack, maybe. Our camera crew diligently looking, trying to find it. Yellow is out. 30 laps to go here tonight. And John, here's something to think about. First caution, lap 25. Second caution, lap 65, right before halfway. Third yellow, lap 100. 30
Justin
remaining.
Mons was the cause of this caution. Looks like he had an
Mons in
incident with,
49.
Oh my gosh, watch this.
This is second time, John, being involved in problems tonight. He's right behind.
But this wasn't his fault. Watch what happens here.
Oh, my. Well, the first one wasn't his fault either. He got turned.
That's true. That's true.
Watch them on McConey setup shop number 49.
And the old one behind him.
All right. What's this it? Back straightaway again? Same place? Kind of. Oh, no. Oh! Are you so? Oh, wow!
Yeah. I didn't say that. I wanted you to see it for yourself. I saw it in the server. That was just
Door bumper clear. You're not.
at all. By the
you
way,
see the tire come off.
yeah. By
And
the
look
way,
at
your
whole
tire went that
coming
way.
to the pits.
Wow,
John, here
everybody's
comes
in
the
the
money stop right here, brother.
Yes,
This is
sir, absolutely.
everybody coming to pit road.
I would be amazed if somebody tried a
Beasley's
no tire
out!
stop.
Beasley's
Ow.
out already, John. Are you serious? Look at this.
Yep.
Oh, my. Wow. Here comes Brown. Did he get him? No, I don't think he did.
Nope. 4 tire stops too. Great. That was a great pit stop by Beasley's
Richard
pit crew.
Beasley. Yes, sir. Richard Beasley. Gonzalez, by the way, coming back out on the racetrack in a good run. John, as I was going to say, before the caution came out with Dwight Beverly and Justin Mons, in my opinion, as we're only in our 3rd caution of the race just at lap 100, this, in my opinion, is the best SIM500 race we have seen all year tonight in Atlanta.
I would agree with you. It's debatable. It is debatable because, I mean, we've seen some no green flag racing between these guys at weird tracks like Iowa, I think it was, where they had a completely caution-free race. But as far as the excitement level, as far as something happening every minute of every, it absolutely hands down. I mean, something has been happening somewhere on this track every lap, every single lap, be it in the front, be it in the middle. Somebody is passing somebody. Somebody's making an astounding move. You know, a very brave move in some instances. But yeah, hands down, brother, this has been one of the best races. I hope these guys go back and watch this replay and really look at how great of a job they did tonight. And I mean, even with the cautions, they got to hold their heads up, man. This could have been a lot worse. With you had a bunch of guys on track tonight that haven't raced this track yet. So, I mean, it could have been a lot worse. I think it's been a fantastic, and we still have 26 laps to go, brother.
You're about to say, John, it is not over yet either.
They're about to put the heat on high, brother. High.
It's in overload. It's in full steaming, if you will. The lights are off for the pace car, and we are ready to go. How hungry, John, is Richard Beasley wanting to win the race in the Tide Ride? My goodness.
He wants it more than I think, other maybe Doug Roth. But as we say down here in the South, we're going to put this on a boil now, okay? We're going to bring this up to a boil now. We're going to throw that spice up in that pot. We're going to stir it and bring it up to a boil.
The things are getting spicy, as you say.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. I look forward to this next 25 laps, man. Let's break it down quick, top 5.
There is not one broadcast that we cannot get John to not say things are getting spicy here, because it's about to get good. Richard Beasley, Kevin DeBrown, Mike Kelly, Doug Roth, Tyler Dalton, Paul Carrier, top 5. Jose Gonzalez, Bobby Wetzel, Ron Holyfield, David Comstock, and
Roth up to 4th place, coming high line here through 3 and 4, coming down here to the line. It's going to be a great race. And we still have 25 laps to go. Look at this move at Kelly on the outside.
Kelly to the lead. Beasley battles back inside. He wants it back, and he's got friends going to help him in turn 1.
Through turn 1, we've got Kelly, Roth, Gonzalez upstairs. You got Beasley, DeBrown, Dalton downstairs. Who's it going to be coming through 3 and 4 here, Wesley?
2 by 2 by 2 by 2, like Noah leading the animals to the ark at full song. Here they come out of turn number 4. Somebody better lift. They're ready to part the Red Seas in the middle. Here comes Kelly. He'll thread the needle. He'll pull up in front of Roth. He can't block Brown. Here comes Beasley. Beasley 10 back to the lead in turn number 1.
Beasley back to the lead, turn number 1. He's got DeBrown pushing him through the turns. Kelly, he needs some help from Roth up high, but I think Roth's trying to play it safe because he's got a great run going. Doesn't want to risk it. Look at how loose Kelly is going to 3.
Did you see the side draft coming off of the 2 of Kelly's car off the 93 of DeBrown? That's how he lost that momentum. DeBrown will power back to the inside. Polcar, Dalton right there behind him. Outside lane. Here comes Kelly. Here comes Roth. Here comes Montesi. Here comes Comstock. Here comes Calatoni. They all go after him in turn number 1.
Here comes everybody, because if you look back at this thing, they're all like they just started this race 2 by 2. Falkingham back there in 10th place right now. Got to keep your eye on him, Wesley, because he is strong no matter what.
I would at least say there's at least 20 cars in this pack, if you will, that have tire time with Roth behind him. Montesi is hanging there with him also. All the while, Beasley, DeBrown, Dalton, Wetzel, all of that goes on the inside in turn number 3.
I'm telling you, look at Roth in that 43 car. He is getting a little more aggressive each and every lap with his pushes on Mike Kelly, which is what Mike wants. Mike needs that bump right there like you saw in the quad over
Gives
right
him a
now.
shot.
He needs that shot. He needs it.
That's that push, that little push, that bump draft, if you will. The three-car tandem in the outside lane. Montesi can't get up there. He got sideways. Comstock had to check up behind him. All the while, Kelly up on the outside lane. Beasley throws the block on the Brown. He can't block Kelly. They're side by side, 18 to go at the line.
Beasley still leading this thing, but man, is he getting loose down the inside. Mike Kelly to the lead now with the help of Roth pushing. Will he stay up there? Will he clear him? I don't think he's going to clear him.
Two-car tandem, three-car draft. Here they come up on the outside at a turn number 2. Working to the back straightaway. It's Kelly now, falling back to Beasley. Beasley powers back. He's got help with the Brown. He's got help with Dalton. Wetzel, here they come side by side as they work out of turn 4.
I'm watching this, Wesley, and one term keeps coming to my mind: white knuckle racing.
Yes, sir.
And you know what I mean by that. Right now, these guys are gripping these wheels so tight, there's no blood flow in their fingertips, and I guarantee you they don't even notice it right now. Look at Beasley finally getting himself about a 1-car length lead over that outside line, but I don't think it's going to last. These guys get back to nose to tail. You'll see them come flying back by on the outside next lap by.
Gotta go, you better go now. Your friends will become your foes will become your friends, and sometimes you're just the monkey in the middle. All that goes on out of turn number 4. It's Beasley powering down to the inside. The thundering virtual herd works to start finish back into turn number 1. I've got 4 words for you, John. Are you not entertained?
I am highly entertained as Dalton jumps up high to try and pull that high line back around to the front. And look at this side draft by DeBrown. Beasley up top the block. Comes back down to the middle, down to the inside to block the Brown. He's driving this thing like he's at Talladega, and that's how you have to do it.
Working to the start-finish line. Roth will go to the inside. He'll go to the middle. 15 to go. It's Beasley still holding on. Somebody has got to make a move to move around the 10. They can't do it yet. Beasley just does not seem to have the momentum.
3 wide.
Or is he playing possum? 3 wide. Elliott Henderson in the middle. He's in the middle. Clowns to the left of me. Oh, that's Comstock. Oh, that's Coleman to the bottom.
And he's going to come right back up where he was.
He lost it, and he got right back up in the line again. I love it.
In the meantime, I don't know if that was part of it. It had the effect of just really breaking that high line up, but look at this. Now we got 3 cars down the inside that are pulling out in front of Tyler Dalton up there on the high side, so it's kind of calmed down a little bit up front for now. 14 to go, though, Wesley. It's going to change, I promise you.
Right, for now. Back straight away. Oh, and by the way, as you mentioned, John, late race cautions. We have a late race yellow. We go to overtime. 2 attempts at overtime if need be. Look at this. It's Beasley and Brown off of turn 4. The battle of the rainbow cars, if you will.
Yeah, I could see that. I could see that, yeah. Roth is sliding back right now to the 13th. He kind of got moved and shuffled back there. People went around him through the middle and kind of stuffed him to the outside there. Wetzel ducking back down the inside line, cuts off Glazer in the 18 car. That was a brave move.
Look at Wetzel, man. Look at Glazer now back up in there in the top 5. All the while, here comes Beasley. And honestly, John, as we approach 12 laps to go this time by, when they come back to the double dog leg here at Atlanta through the Geico restart zone, smile on the face of Richard Beasley, because he would rather have him single file on the bottom, organized, than somebody coming after him 2 or 3 lanes. But he better be ready. I know he's got to block the Brown, but I think there's a lot more other competitors that are faster than the 93 as they make their move. Look at the Brown. He looked outside. He couldn't find anything there in the inside in 3.
You know, and I want to take it a step further. I think Beasley is looking in his mirror, and he's seeing these guys dicing up back here in the high line, going through the middle, going to the high, trying to find some groove here, and it's killing their momentum. He's loving that. Now he's all got to do is focus on DeBrown in his mirror. And if I'm Kevin DeBrown, I'm thinking big picture. Yes, I'd like to win, but he's riding high in the points right now, and he's having a much better race. Well, he was. Oh, my God, Falkingham's in 4th. I just saw that. Falkingham's up to 4th.
Do you see the 39? Falkingham has just got around Park.
Off the Brown, still holding off Glazer. Wetzel just can't get anything going up high. I just don't know how they're going to make this happen. If they can't get each other, you know, synced up here on the outside line, they got to get nose to tail. They got to get to a point where they're comfortable pushing each other, or they're not going to be able to catch those 2 up front.
8 laps to go, 7 remaining now when they come back to the line with Beasley, Brown, Glazier, Wetzel up on the outside lane. Here they come. All of this taking place as they come to start finish. Oh, we got trouble. They're wrecking in the back. It's Dalton, it's Gonzalez. They have all smushed and crashed and munched and crunched into the triangle. Wow. Coleman involved, Kelly involved. The big one.
That was huge. That was
7 to go.
Huge.
You knew, John, it was happening.
Matter of time. Matter of time.
Wow, wow, wow.
That started with Dalton, and he got a bump in a bad place right there. Watch this. Kelly might have gotten lucky. The luckiest one out of that bunch, even though he got a little bit contact damage from Dalton. He went down to the grass before the big wrecking started, so he'll probably be okay. Now the question is, who's still got tires left, Wesley? Watch this contact that Dalton gets from Henderson as we go through the tri-oval here. Sorry, the quad oval.
Another look at it again as the big one just happened here. It unleashed with 7 laps to go. All the calamity breaking loose at start finish, and there's the contact. Montesi, Gonzalez got into Kelly.
Oh, wow.
And then you see Dalton involved, you see Woods involved, Coleman's involved. Take your pick. There are so many cars that are littered all over the speedway here. John, the big one. We just had it. Holyfield's involved. My. Wow.
More news for you. The top 10 stayed out. Nobody came to the pits.
I think your fate's sealed. You're not coming to the pits. You're not pitting.
Yeah.
If you're Beasley,
Falkingham came to the pits. I'm sorry.
Wow.
He's gonna. Oh wow. Oh wow.
Did he get caught up in the accident?
No, he was in 4th when it went down. He had a spare set of tires.
Uh-oh.
But the thing is, he's gonna restart at the best 18th. And I don't think he's got enough time. I don't know, man. I don't think there's enough time for him to, even with the new tires, I just don't think there's enough time for him to get through the field with the time amount that we're going to go back to green with maybe 3 to go if we're lucky. Yeah,
we're still in the scheduled distance, mind you. Remember that.
Yeah. So.
By the way, John, I don't know if you saw that replay when Charles, awesome job, by the way, showing that replay of the accident.
Yes, awesome job.
Doug Roth, how in the world did he sneak by and not get caught up in that wreck? In the 43?
He got caught up. He's got massive
Did he get caught up in it?
He's still on pit road getting damage fixed.
I was looking on the replay and I was seeing how the 43 just kind of was able to scamper away from the first part of the accident. I don't know if maybe he got caught up in some other parts that we didn't see. Oh, my. You know what, though? As we approach 4 laps to go, I think the lights will go off on the pace car this time by 3-lap shootout when we come back to green. If the lights go out on the pace car, they do. So we have 4 remaining, 3 to go. We're still in the scheduled distance. There is 2 attempts at an overtime if need be. John, nature of the beast. This race was exciting. They were bumping, they were banging, they were fighting, they were clawing for positions. It's coming down to the end. Single digits on the scoreboard. You knew something like that was going to entail.
Absolutely. And, I mean, it happens at play tracks all the time. And this restart's going to be interesting because look where our leader is opted to take the outside line. Wesley, I don't know if I agree with that call.
Are you? Wow. Oh, wow.
I mean, he's going to have to get the restart of a lifetime.
He is on the outside for the restart. Are you kidding me?
Whew. I don't know if I agree with this call. Man. My goodness.
Wow. He is using the outside lane for the restart.
Well, the good news is it's his teammate that's on the inside, Kevin DeBrown.
So that's friends, right?
So they might be talking to each other. I can't confirm or deny this. I know that they're teammates. They might be talking to each other in Discord with a strategy of maybe Richard, maybe Kevin's going to drag his brakes a little bit and let Richard come down. I don't know, but that's just a very, very interesting call. We'll find out here. Wesley, take us back to green, hopefully for the last
Field
time.
is coming back to the Geico restart zone. Amongst all the green on the retaining wall, there you see the blue. The green flag. 3 laps here to decide it. Less than 7 miles remaining at Atlanta. The field brings them back to speed. Beasley gets a great jump onto Brown, on Glazier, outside lane not forming yet with Wetzel. There's your top 6. They're single file out of turn number 2.
This is going to be a fight down the backstretch to see who can get to the outside and get the momentum to work. And I call it. I'm pretty sure that the teammates worked together there. Beasley got down in front of DeBrown, was able to maintain his lead. But look on the outside, Josh Parker in that 81 car on the outside of Glazier. He's looking for some help, Wesley.
We've not really mentioned much about Josh Parker since he won the pole at Daytona back when the season started 15 rounds ago. 2 laps remaining, less than 3 miles to go. Here comes Beasley. Beasley on the inside. Parker now on the outside. Something started, nothing there. Brown can't clear Beasley. They go to 3.
Down through 3 we go for what will be the second to last time by. Parker on the outside had a great push from the 13 car. But he wiggled, Wesley, and that killed that momentum for him. Little contact right there. 3 wide to the tri-oval.
And they took the white flag. Race is official. CRN 1 to go. Final time into turn number 1 and 2. Beasley wiggles, throws the block. Here comes Brown. Here comes Parker. They're after him on the final time. Back straightaway.
Back straightaway last time. So we got contact. We got wrecking. It's Falkingham.
They're wrecking. I saw Wetzel turned. I saw Falkingham turned. All the while battling Brown, Parker, Glazier, sneaking inside, outside, turned to the fences, Henderson. And meanwhile, they're wrecking again. It is going to be Richard Beasley to win in Atlanta. One for the ages. One for the ages.
Wow.
And the Tide Ride wins.
My God,
Wow.
man. That was amazing. That was an absolutely amazing finish.
This race did not disappoint. And teammates right there helping one another, working to win this race. That's why Beasley won.
Absolutely. Absolutely. He had help. He had a good guy behind him that's going to help him see this to the end. I'm sure that the Brown, if he'd had a chance, would have raced Bees pretty hard for the win. But it ended the way it needed to. I'm really happy for Richard Beasley. I've known this guy for a few years, and I'm sure that right now he is just probably waking up the neighborhood with the yells. My God, what a finish. That was insane.
What a race. What a race. And for Beasley to celebrate, carry on, boys. Very fitting. What could be fitting? What could be more special for the Tide Ride? Number 10. Richard Beasley is the winner. Kevin DeBrown, his teammate, right behind him in second. Josh Parker, third. Glazier, they try to get something organized, just could not get anything taken care of. John, how about Mike Kelly? Involved in an accident before the big one on that final shootout. He comes back and he finishes in 5th in the 2. Comstock is 6th. Brian Wortman, a name that we haven't mentioned tonight. Yes, sir, 7th. Chad Coleman involved in an accident earlier, coming back to finish 8th. Mike Montesi, Jimmy Coleman, your top 10 in Atlanta.
Coming home 11th, Elliott Henderson, even after the trouble he had. Jose Gonzalez had a strong run early in the race, finished 12th. Doug Roth had a great run going, just got shuffled out of the top 10 there. 13th, Ed Burrell. Congratulations, Ed, on your comeback here. Medical issues over the last few months. He finishes 14th. Stoney Benfield, Voodoo Racing 75 car. 15th, Kevin England has a great finish to his race. 16th, Tyler Dalton. 17th, Charles Woods. 18th, man, Daniel Falkingham winds up 19th. Doug Sigmund. Round out your top 20.
21st will be Bobby Wetzel, Randy Yoakum 22nd, Tommy Ryan, Joey Jattina, Anthony Calantoni, your top 25, Gerald Livingston, Ron Holyfield, Jose Medina, Jeff Ryan, and Robert Ferrari III, your top 30, all laps down or more.
And finally, your last 9 drivers, Scott Stenzel, 31st, Dwight Beverly, 32nd, Glenn Campbell, 33rd, Justin Mons, 34th, Eric Arnold, 35th, Brian Macklin, 36th, Trey Edson, 37th, Sean Derryman, 38th, and Scott Simley, 39th. And a lot of these guys were in for the majority of the race and just didn't get to finish because of the excitement that really started happening kind of past the midway point there, Wesley.
This race only saw 4 caution flags for 130 laps. What a race. Coming up the finish line, post-race wrap-up, and we are going to grab a word with the teammates of Beasley, DeBrown, and Parker as well. All of that is on the way. Stick around. SIM500 did not disappoint. More details at sim500.com. And this is iRacing on LSRTV. We wrap it up from Atlanta next. Hey, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. It is time for the finish line post-race wrap-up. All right, we're ready. What a wild one here at Atlanta. Settle in. We're going to get the thoughts of the top three. John, I'm Wesley. Charles did a phenomenal job on the production behind the scenes for Rocket Media. And now we get the thoughts of the men behind the wheel here in this virtual battle of man and machine here at Atlanta. When it's all said and done, it is Richard Beasley getting the win, his first win on the season. Josh Parker, number 81, Dylan weaseling, somehow getting through the traffic. Shades of Daytona, Talladega, your take of being on the podium here in third, Josh. We haven't talked to you in a while.
Yeah, apparently I haven't had good runs. I've been starting in the bag, so I told myself I'll start qualifying during the chase. But yeah, it was fun to kind of get used to how this track races. It was actually really fun. Saving tires, working well with a lot of the guys in the back, and then I got caught up in that wreck at 1.5 minutes damage, but didn't seem to really affect the car too much. So I'm upset I didn't win because I haven't won yet this year, and but third I'm gonna be happy with.
Well, I'll tell you what, Josh, I mean, you kind of snuck up on us there. I'm not saying you weren't in the picture for the race, but you were taking your time getting up to the front, man. Amazing job tonight. What did you think? What's your impression of the new Atlanta track? What did you like about it?
I mean, yeah, it wasn't by choice taking that long, but yeah, it was fun because it seemed like after a few laps, a few laps, like 15 and 20 laps, got loose at like the perfect spot of the turn, so it made you have to either save tires or drive it, or basically it wasn't just like Daytona. It felt like man, I don't know what to describe it. It was definitely different, but it was fun. We're definitely not full throttle, so it took a while to get used to it, for sure. Trying to figure out how to run the track, I think, but you saw some people get loose off the turn, you saw people get loose into the turn, so it was very difficult for some drivers. Actually, I would say all of us.
It did not disappoint for sure, Josh, man. Your take of adapting to this new next-gen car. Obviously, you were the pole man at Daytona when the season started. This is kind of like the halfway mark of the season, if you will, here in Atlanta tonight. What's your take of this car so far, racing it for SIM500?
I enjoy it. The track position is more key than ever, I think, because just like real life, it levels out the playing field. I mean, tires do come into play, but track position trumps tires, to a certain point. So you can be better on the long runs, like your Daniel Folkenhams, but if your average 20 to 30 place guy can definitely run top 10 for a majority of the run. By the time tires fall off, you're pitting again. So I enjoy this car. It's just starting in the back kind of hurts me because track position is key now, but I enjoy this car a lot.
On to the next one. Before we let you go, Josh, thank your sponsors on the 81.
I don't have any, but I'll thank all you guys. Everyone at Team Name, everyone, Chad Beasley for getting the win, man. He's yeah, anyway. Yeah, everybody. Just thank everybody.
Josh Parker needs sponsors. Somebody help him out. There you go. There's the driver, of course, of Josh Parker, the 81. Richard Beasley, again, the winner. We'll talk to him in a minute, but let's go to the runner-up and his teammate at the number 93. He's got a couple of wins this year, Kevin Brown. Kevin, what's up, man? Second spot. Is it fitting to be the runner-up on the podium when the race ends, of course, to your teammate?
Honestly, yeah. I mean, I knew Beasley needed to win, and I wanted to help him out at the end there to get the playoffs and whatnot. I wanted to make a shot at it coming in turn 3, but we had Josh to the outside there, and I mean, it's good to have all teammates 1, 2, 3.
Well, Kevin, my friend, I'm going to ask you the same question I asked Josh. What is your impression of this new Atlanta? I freaking love it, dude. I've raced the B car and the A car here so far this week, and I love it. How about you, man?
Honestly, yeah, I love it too. I was telling the guys on the team that it's kind of like a COT right now at like Dega, where you have to save the tire just a bit and kind of throw some skill into it instead of just holding it down the whole time. But I think it's a lot of fun.
I tell you what, Kevin, looking at your stats now, as they have just actually updated everything from tonight's event at Atlanta, you move up to 4th in the point standings, 80 points back to Falkingham. Obviously, there's now 3 drivers under 100 points that can run down to 39. And you got, of course, that 1 win this year. Look, deciding to go for that second win or helping your teammate, of course, of Richard Beasley, who was outside the top 13 in the points, mind you, until he got this win tonight. When does that mindset go of friends to foes to friends, and you try to help somebody else get a victory?
Well, it's funny you mentioned that, because at the beginning of the race, me and Trey were working together, and me and Trey, I don't know what it is about the super speedways, we always end up finding each other working together. And then he ended up getting caught up in a wreck, and Beasley ended up making his way up here, and then I realized maybe if we just stick to the low line here and just lead it, we could just figure it out at the end who wins it. And like I said, he was out front, and I couldn't get to him because I was getting sidetracked at the same time. So I mean, happy for Beasley. I know he wanted it really bad, so yeah.
All right, man. On to the next one. Thank your sponsors there, Kevin.
Oh yeah, of course. Racing Pride coming on this season for a beautiful paint scheme painted by Chris Caboo. NC811 for sponsoring the series, SIM500, and you guys are putting on a beautiful show. Can't wait to watch it.
Should be an exciting one. Kevin Brown, again, teammate there, getting to the number 2 position. He's already got 1 win this year, by the way. We go to victory lane now. Richard Beasley, the Tide Ride, up 28 spots to victory lane. Richard, what's going through your mind, man? What a wild battle. You know, you always talk about underdog stories, kind of like last night at Atlanta with Corey LaJoie almost beating Chase Elliott in the end. I would have to say this underdog story, virtual, becomes reality. Holding off everyone, having your teammates there like Kevin Brown helping you, and you get that first win of the season. Is this your first series win, by the way?
Yeah, this is my first win on a Sunday night. Yeah, I know. It's about time.
So, John, not only is his first win of the year, it is first career win in the SIM500 NC8 call before you did Cup Series as well.
I told you that. I was trying to get that out in the broadcast. Yes, Beasley's first win, man. We got to witness it. Rick, man, dude, I've got to ask you, that move you made to go from 4th to 1st, well, it looked like you went outside, inside, outside, inside. What was that? Was that planned, or was you just going with the flow, buddy?
Nah, I mean, it wasn't planned. I was going to try to settle in there and run with those guys after that big wreck, and the lanes opened up, and I just took them, man, and it worked out. I was able to stay in the top 2 for the last, I don't know, 60, 70 laps.
So, Richard, with this win, obviously, it gives you the opportunity to run for a championship in the postseason. And I will say this as well. It's got to be a momentum lifter as well for you. For somebody, not taking this away from your win tonight, but you've struggled. You've had problems with your car. You've been involved in accidents that weren't your fault. Been caught up in things keeping you in the back. This has got to be a big confidence booster to build up that momentum and that mindset to now know you can race with these guys in a pack and have a shot to win again.
Yeah, definitely. We've definitely improved in moving over to the next gen cars. I still have weeks where I'll run in the top 10 a couple weeks in a row, and then I'll finish 20th 2 weeks in a row. So it's finally nice to get a win here, and hopefully we can keep this momentum going in the next week and continue to run up front.
John, you got another question for the winner.
Hey, man, are you going to let me paint you a car now that you're winning? I'd like to put another paint scheme. I'm kidding. Man, Rick, I'm just really happy for you, man. I've known you for, what, 5-6 years now? You and I have been through the ringer with these guys day in and day out, it seems like. To see you win tonight, man, I'm really happy for you. But I just want to put that out there.
Thanks, man. I appreciate it.
Sponsors, do you have any?
Yeah, I want to thank Tim's Corner Motorsports, Tide, Splash and Go Graphics, all those guys over there. You guys up here doing a great job, man. Appreciate you guys at LSRTV. SIM500, the whole league, all these guys do a good job. Joey Katina running this thing every week. And I want to thank all the guys in team name, especially Kevin DeBrown for pushing me most of the night and staying with me at the end. I'm glad Josh got to his outside because it really made things a little easier that last lap.
Well, buddy, congratulations to you. Hopefully many, many more to come. Good job.
That was good, man. Thank you.
Richard Beasley, winner tonight, the Tide Ride, here tonight at Atlanta. Hot Atlanta, spicy. It did not disappoint. John, we're on to another mile, the Magic Mile in New Hampshire next week. And this was a fun time tonight, brother.
It was, but real quick, I want to take just a couple minutes to talk to Ed Burrell. Ed made his return to racing tonight in the Cup Series for the first time since dealing with all of his health issues earlier this year. We were worried about Ed making a comeback, but he did it. And Ed, my friend, you were looking really strong out there. Almost had yourself a top 10 finish tonight, buddy. How you feeling? Uh-oh. I'm thinking Ed maybe he fell asleep.
Ed Burrell, do you copy?
Okay, well, I apologize.
We're glad he's back. We're glad he's back.
We are glad he's back. He had a great run tonight, and I'm glad he's feeling better. So, on that note, Wesley, I tell you what, man, I'm so on board with you right now. This was one of the absolute best races that I've sat down and watched, and we talked about this in our group chat. I don't watch a whole lot of races because I tend to fall asleep. This race was from the drop of the green flag, dude. We had something to talk about all over the track tonight. And I just wish the rest of the tracks could give us this kind of excitement. But we know, unfortunately, it just doesn't work that way. But my hat is off to iRacing. To me, personally, my opinion, they hit a home run with this reconfiguration.
Yeah, I've not been excited with a virtual iRacing track that's been launched since probably North Wilkesboro 2 years ago when they launched it during the pandemic, and there's even some kinks with that place. But man, for this new track in Atlanta, I loved it. It was exciting. If you're a fan of bump drafting, if you're a fan of the two-car tandems, if you like pack racing, if you like cars being knotted up and just not knowing where they're going to go like a jigsaw puzzle, this had it all. I encourage anybody to go back and watch this. All of our SIM500 followers or friends or family, share this LSRTV broadcast to build up the numbers. In my opinion, this was definitely the race of the year and the move of the year for a first-time winner in Richard Beasley. We're on to New Hampshire, Pocono, Indianapolis the next 3 weeks before they take off the first weekend in August. As always, follow them at sim500.com and at LSRTV on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. John, your final take on things, brother. It's always fun working with you. We ain't worked with each other since June the 20th, so it's been a while, but it's always fun. And always great work again by Charles Wooten and the production staff as well.
Yeah, Charles was a soldier tonight, man. He had some issues going on, got it fixed in a hurry for us to bring us a great finish to a race. Man, I'm glad to be back. I missed you guys. Had a great holiday. Took some time off. Got to spend some time with the grandkids. Eat a lot of food that I probably shouldn't have eaten. I hope my doc don't hear that. But glad to be back. And what a way to come back. What a first race back after some holidays. Tonight's the race in Atlanta. Looking forward to what these guys are going to show us next week at New Hampshire. New Hampshire's a flat track, Wesley, and we've seen in the past it's hard to make passes without bumping into each other at New Hampshire. So we're going to see what happens, and then it's going to be a great time, folks. Make sure you stick around for it.
Always a fun time. For John Muschin, for Charles Wooten, Jeff Stabnow, Rocket